Hey everyone, this is Tracy Lewis with Stuff and Things. It is paper pumpkin time. You can see that I have a bit of a dent here on the corner to this month. Our theme is Fall for Toile, September 2025. I have seen a little bit about this kit. I do know that the Toile DSP is a coordinating DSP, so I did buy it. It came on time so that I will actually be able to utilize it with this kit. I'm very excited. Cajun Craze is our spot for the day. And we have the stamp set, which I will share the line art for. So I have done, made a little change this fall with my Stampin' Up! Demonstratorship, I should say. I am typically a YouTuber. I used to do YouTube videos with making, like I would video all of the cards that I made, as well as paper pumpkin alternatives, but the views that on the video or cards that I made did not get very many views, and I get lots and lots of views on my alternative videos. So what I am actually doing, I've lived in my house now for 3 years, and in all of this time, my stuff was in disarray. My crafting organization in my space was non-existent, and then last fall I went and got all my stuff from my mom's, and she has since moved here from Washington State to live on my street, 10 doors away from me. Let's see, try to get this settled. So I'm going to turn on the flash now because we should not have the glare of the ring. I'm going to actually turn that off. I'm going to do a different light. Ooh, that's even brighter. Yeah, see, that's why I didn't have because of the glare. Because I am not through all the shiny stuff. So I have finally got myself organized, and I'm starting up my first kit card crafting in my home in November, or on World Card Making Day, actually, in October. So we'll see how that all goes. I have been making cards all this time. I sell them at our we have garage sales here as well as an artisan market, and I sell there. I enjoy the making of the cards, not necessarily creating and cutting up a bunch of card type kits. I am not a card kit person. I am a one-off creative person, as you know by the way my videos go. So I am attempting to use kits in a class format for people to just come and fellow card crafters in the community, so that we can just have some fellowship and share our time together and make some kits. And I'm just going to see how that goes. That way, see, if I use kits, you guys, I don't have to actually sit and cut like card bases and like all of the boring parts of the materials. If I go with a kit and maybe I embellish it some like I do with the alternatives, I think that is going to be the perfect fit for me and what I would need to be able to do some card making with friends. My mom, she's a big, since she's been here for a year, she's been pestering me to do card classes. She comes to my coloring classes because I do teach coloring here. And I think it's going to work nicely. So we have 3 strips of lovely trim. It's like a 1/2 inch trim. We have dimensionals, mini dimensionals, and double-sided dots. Anyhow, so I just thought that would be fun to share with you guys that I am altering a bit what I do in my crafting world. Oh, and everything is organized now. That is the ticket. I really don't do well when things are disorganized. So we've got 9 cards, 3 of each style of toile. The inside of the envelopes, as I suspected, are totally blank. So I will probably keep these envelopes as is to use as envelopes. With the 3, leave the flaps as they are. Anyhow, so now that I am highly organized in my room and have a plan for my supplies and have integrated I had an extensive collection of non-Stampin' Up! Card crafting supplies for many, many years, and I hadn't seen them in 8 years, so now those have all been merged in. We've got these beautiful 3 front and back with the trees. There's a stamp set, actually, also that coordinates with this. I do not have that. I have the other, and it's not here yet, so I don't know that I will be using it since I will be doing this video tonight and tomorrow. So here are this particular card base. Nestled in the card base, I'm going to set aside. You can see I've got some different die cuts. So the second card base is this nice cross, just a little plaid pattern, or I don't know what you would call it, a checkered pattern somewhat. It's very artsy, lovely color tones. Here is this corn that goes very nicely. This dark taupey brown is repeated through the corn, and there should be 3 of these. Yes, we have 3 of the corns. I could do things with the corn, just thinking ahead. If I was wanting to cut this into 2 parts, I could either cut it at the fence line and have this separate from the fence side, cut it vertically, and then if I needed to, I could trim off the gold. I'm not sure if I would want to do that to make this into 6 pieces, but I could. We've got this beautiful dark foil leaf times, we've got 9 of them. I see some circles. These are all mixed up. It's kind of fun to show you the different die cut bits in between the card fronts, or bases, I guess. So yeah, that's my theory with my strategy of hosting events in my home, is that I think I want to focus on kits, and I might even, you know, when I am done with the kit for the video, I don't immediately put the cards together. I am at that point, I have spent at least 12 hours, if not 2 days, with this kit, and I am pretty well burned out and done with it, and I want to go away, and then I will admit I am not in a big hurry to, like, I won't use this kit for my fall cards necessarily, because I always send out Thanksgiving cards, but I have last year's kit already sitting on the desk, and I have already reviewed it and made a couple of its cards, so I'm right now a year behind. Someday I'll get all caught up, and that will all change, but in the meantime, I am 1 year behind, and I am playing now with last year's fall kit. So by the time I am caught up, it's possible I will be able to share the bits and pieces from these kits and turn them into cards for my group, whatever the group ends up becoming. I don't envision it being a huge group. We have already card making classes here that are very large, and I don't want that. I want a nice small group of like-minded artsy crafty people that we can sit and play with these parts and pieces from all of these kits. I have years of kit pieces, because not only do I do the paper pumpkin kits, but I enjoy the other kits that now Stampin' Up! Has quite an extensive kit collection, as they call it. And I have bought many of those over the years, so I have them all, and I am now willing and wanting to share them. I have sold some of them, but I am wanting to share them now with friends. All right, and our final card base is a linen on both sides. So you've got 6, 6, and 6. So 18 lovely card bases. And then now we have unveiled another lovely pile of bits. Let's see what we've got. It's a half of a tree with a lovely frame. I'm just going to grab a base. I suspect it's something like this. I don't ever look at the Create except to get colors to share with you guys what the color families are. Then we have enough. These bits, I guess, are all for 3 more cards. I'm not sure that I will need a lot. I have the Toile paper I already told you about. I have some foil papers. None of the current ones, I don't think. There's some newer, kind of a dark bronzy metallic. I don't have that. I do have a box behind me that I haven't opened, and that's why I am not sure, because I do know at one point I did have that in my cart, and I am thinking something else replaced it. So by the time I am putting all these together, I will unbox that and see if I have any other pieces I want to add to that. That is a very cute fox. So those are all of our pieces. I am still owing you my art for the stamp set. I will cut all of these apart when I go away and work on the bits and pieces prep. Here is our artwork. Oh, wishing you the happiest of days. That's great for inside. Warm wishes. Thankful. Love the V of the geese, or whatever kind of birds they are that are flying south. Pumpkins, acorns, some leaves. And thinking of you. All right, colors. Colors for the kit say Cajun Craze, Crumb Cake, Darling Duckling, Early Espresso, Pumpkin Pie, Timid Tiger, and the Metallic Chocolate Bronze. And I would love if I bought that paper, but I thought that I was toying with whether to get something different. So, on that note, I will go away so I can start contemplating our bits and pieces. I will, of course, come back and share with you any interesting findings along the way. By the way, none of the product was damaged in here. The kit, as you see, it comes wrapped in this plastic, and it was protected, and so everything is good. So stay tuned, and I will be back. We'll see what I can find. I am back. I think I'm at a good place to do some prep materials and get right into the layouts. So I have this Timid Tiger spot. This is the Timid Tiger re-inker. Oftentimes I will not buy the full-size pads. I did travel for over 6 years with only spots. So Timid Tiger is an in color for this year. It is in this kit. So I'm just showing you how I do an inking on a blank spot. I just go back and forth and up and down. And I have never run out of a re-inker, you guys. And all I do is re-ink spots up until moving into this home. So I highly recommend it. If you need to supplement your paper pumpkin spots, you can buy these. You get 5 per pack of uninked spots, and then you buy the re-inkers and you can fill them up over and over. And like I said, I have never, and I craft all the time. Okay, Timid Tiger is ready to go. And we're going to use Timid Tiger here in a moment. I'm going to go through some existing supplies that come with the kit. First off, we have a couple of different things you can do with the card bases. And I am going to be repeating some of my standard stuff. First, I took an embossing folder and embossed on this nice grid pattern paper. And I am going to, because it's a white core, you can easily scratch off. You can scratch the edges if you want. This is not trimmed down, so I'm not going to focus on the edges in this case, but I do use my block for edges. You can also use a knife, an old knife, not a good knife that you care about. And then the next thing I did is I took number 7, I believe. There's the skin tone set, and this is one of the darks, and it is actually on my, I call it number 1. I numbered them, but it is SU100, and that is this very dark line, and I just chose a grid every 3 squares across. So that is that bit of prep. I did leaf fall with sponging crumb cake, and I did a lot of this treatment on a few different colors. Very vanilla is my main base color today, and I have a leaf fall plain. Let's see, did I do any other fun prep? I trimmed down a bunch of different pieces, created some thankful sentiments a couple of different ways. I made sure that I used Cajun craze, and then have some other colors as well. I did cut, which is funny because I've lost one of the pieces. Let's see, more prep. I have a fun one here. We have a number of these little leaves that have Darling Duckling and Timid Tiger, and because I'm not going to be using these in a way that I'm interested in the Darling Duckling color, I won't demo it because it's so basic, but I took the Mossy Meadow and a finger dauber that's floating around here somewhere, but I won't worry about that. And I went ahead and did some treatments. First I did, using my favorite splatter stamp from Quiet Meadow, here it is, and I even wrote Quiet Meadow, or did a label for it, because it lives on this old paper pumpkin block. So here is some gray granite splatter. The edges are sponged with early espresso using a finger dauber. So this one is finger daubered around the edges as well as finger daubered with Mossy Meadow, and you can see it converts it to a very nice green. And I do want to have, I need a piece of paper. Let's try to find a blank paper that's not been stamped on. That's always the big problem. Here's one. All right. I'm going to go ahead and show you the magic because it's so cool. Sometimes the simplest things provide the most reward. I wasn't going to demo this. If you're like, why wasn't she prepared? So you can sponge off. I'm just focusing on the Darling Duckling area. It does not have to be perfect, and it just really quickly transforms into green leaves. If you want to leave some like this edge, I could leave looking faded yellow. You could even add some orange if you wanted to. So that is how quickly you can convert to green from the yellow. Alright, so there's that. And then the last fun thing that I did actually uses some extra pieces. Let's see, I want to put these so that I remember where they are. we have this bit. So I took a clear bag that I protect my cards that I make with and trimmed it down. I sealed one of the sides, grabbed some ancient loose sequins, and you could do all one color or mixed colors. This is from Peaceful Poppies years ago. And I put some sequins in, sealed it up, and I will have an instant shaker. So we will do some layouts with that. That is pretty much it for the kit itself, pieces. I did not trim envelopes. I have card bases trimmed down. These are not embossed. And then I have pulled some embossing folders. We'll go over these next. I already showed you the leaf fall. I do own Subtle. And then this is Tasteful Textile. And that is what these are. I did them a few different ways. So I have all of these different bases ready for us to play with, and we'll look at them smooth and decorated. So now let me show you the embossing folders. Tasteful Textile, Retired, Subtle, Retired, and Leaf Fall. That is what I am using for today's kit. I have told you that I got the Toile paper, DSP, and I want to get the actual name of it. I think it's called Autumn Toile, but I am going to get you the name here. My idea is to go through this very quickly, but you know how that goes. Amber Autumn, the Autumn Toile Suite. So I suspect the Autumn Toile paper. Autumn Toile, T-O-I-L-E, is what it is. And that paper has pattern side and a scene side. So the scenes, there are 4 scenes. You've got the deer and the tree, pheasants, I believe, pumpkins and corn, and a fox. So we'll be playing with some of these. On the back side are patterns. I have also got some samples with these, and of course this is the pattern that I just used. This is the card base, that's the white core. So you've got lots of this. You could do like 30 cards if you had this paper. Just this one sheet. You do get 4 designs times 3 sheets in the DSP. I did not buy the metallic, coordinating metallic, bronzy colored paper, but I do have this old dark bronze, which is very close. Yeah, it's close enough. So you can even use gold. I think gold would look just fine as well. I did, just for fun, as the main holidays like Christmas and like Valentine's Day comes along, I'm taking all of my old paper pumpkin kits that are in that theme and putting them together. So I will be putting together a fall autumn box. This is last year's. Last year's has a wonderful Sending Autumn Wishes Your Way. It has wonderful leaves that you could consider using. I even have, because I had already mentioned that this year's Thanksgiving cards are going to be made with it. This is one card I finished for last year's wood block, wood stump. So I will be making a bunch more of these. Older years, I have, what year is this? September 2023 with Love and Gratitude. It has 2 lovely stamps. That's why I did the Timid Tiger, so I could ink up the 2 stamps. I think you could easily integrate. It is a pumpkin and a Grateful for You. In the, so that's 2023. September 2020 Hello Pumpkin has Give Thanks. We don't have artwork on this one, so Give Thanks, a witch's hat, and a pumpkin. Not as applicable, I don't think, but this pumpkin is applicable, so I went ahead and stamped. Here's this year's pumpkins, and here is the pumpkin from 2020, and it is a nice match, so you can easily mix them. If you would like to add more pumpkins and you have these old kits in your stash, go pull out. These are all Septembers, by the way. Stampin' Up's pretty consistent with their the major holiday theme. This is Haunts and Harvest 2021, and we have like a maple leaf with the veining, another leaf with the veining, and it has a thank you. Hey there, pumpkin. I pick you every time. I was thinking, oh, you're a blessing. So those are all good for autumn, fall, and then you also have a Happy Halloween. This has got really good sentiments. So I have used the sentiment from last year's kit, and that's pretty much all, but I wanted to share with you the possibilities. Then we have trim. I grabbed one current trim that I just got is a Mossy Meadow. It's got more gold on one side and more green on the other side, and I have a knot and bows. So we have knots and bows. This weighted early espresso is old. I have a couple rolls. Of course, I bring it out every Thanksgiving and fall. And then this is kind of like a putting on a fuzzy sweater. It's really nice. It is very vanilla. It is also retired woven ribbon. So I've got some standard bows and then a couple of different knots. I also grabbed some gold thread. It's like a heavier thread, and I made some swirls in the gold. I also brought out baker's twine. You could color your baker's twine, if it's one of the standard Stampin' paper pumpkin ones. And it is in my pile here somewhere, so since I don't see it, it looks just like this, only it's Cajun Craze colored. And it looks lovely behind something like our circle. Big circles that have the metallic trim on them. I think, not done yet. Bling, we have not done bling. I already shared with you using sequins to do the shaker. I grabbed just a couple varieties. Here's one current one. These are awfully heavy for mailing, just so you know. Pressed flower motifs for the rustic fall look. These are my favorite rustic metallic because they're very lightweight. I have some retired, so I should be very clear. I'm trying to. Those are current. These are retired. And these are retired, and all that I have left is no gold. Well, one. I have one gold, so I would be using the bronzy color. And then these are also retired neutral matte dots in white very vanilla is what I'm looking at, but I could also use this nice tan color as well. So I will probably just stick with using a few of these because they're a standard and I have them already. I usually take the goo off the back so that I can easily mix and match with you guys. All right, next I did one. I wanted to share more of the artwork in the stamp set for this kit because the artwork I think is very nice. And here is just a simple stamping project, and I just think it is very lovely. If you have blends, you can quickly color. I believe I bought the Timid Tiger blends. Yes, so Timid Tiger blends, brand new, haven't even been used. And I'm gonna go ahead and just do some very simple coloring here. This is the light. I think I want the brush end. My trick for coloring is to use the guide of these little lines are hinting to us. You could leave little bits of white like that. It does not have to be perfect. And use the lines as your guide for shadows. There is the fastest colored pumpkin ever. Grabbing a green. My old olives, let's see how bad the old olives are. They're used a lot. I put a B on here because they are, oh, that doesn't look good. Does not look bad at all. And you could do autumn leaves with some orange and yellow and red. So there you have it. You could even get really fun and take the Thankful, which is a dropout, and if you want to be really, really careful, you could try to get that Timid Tiger in between the lines. So I want to regroup for a moment. Before I regroup, I'm going to, yeah, see, I might have to regroup to find what I need to find. I'm going to I'm going to move the camera closer to me. So there's a very cute, very simple card, and then we can dress it up. Even though it's partially colored, you get the idea. You have the comparison of the whites. So this white is basic white, and this grayish white is in the kit. So you do have to watch for that. And you can sponge this circle. You could sponge this circle Cajun Craze or a green. I'm just adding fun bits to make it more elaborate. And we have I forgot to put some dots on the last one. Oops. I make a triangle when I do dots. And see, I think that's a fantastic card. Even with just the little bit of coloring, though, you could color the whole thing. Or not color it at all. Because I forgot dots, and they are so important to me, I'm just going to take the previous design elements, just toss them on. Alright, so I am going to go, oh, I don't have to go away. I found my Cajun Craze. So, last design using these bits. And we have these little pumpkins. All right, so there just was what, 5 or 6 ideas with just using some simple stamping as your base. All right. I'm going to stick with this early espresso. Our big corn scene. You're going to get 3 of these, so I wanted to show you some options with it full size. The other set, this is the set that coordinates with the Autumn Toile paper. It is called Amber Autumn. Yes, Amber Autumn Cling Stamp Set. And I've already had and lost. Oh, here's one. I have a very vanilla. This is the Autumn Wishes. We have some fun bronzy leaves. Nice and simple. I have the feeling these pumpkins are going to get used a lot. Ooh, I can put this over here now. Again, I'm always working on my triangles, and I also want to see them, which is why you've seen me choose these empty spots. Alrighty, let's move these in a little bit. There we go. Before we move this, I want to dress it up. You've got this pattern. We have this pattern, which is a little on the gray side. So I think this is the pattern I like the best. Then there is another really cute pattern. And I will put this on. change our sentiment to grateful for you. Have some little pumpkins. I'm trying to work with the fence in my layout. Behind the grateful for you is a little strip of the suede. Oh, and this one is, I have a shorter one. This grateful for you. I noticed that on this set, Amber Autumn, all of the fonts are at an angle. Here is the Autumn Wishes, showing the italic is what it is called. Oh, I like that. Okay, so there you have it. A nice, simpler, we could even get rid of the leaf. Trying to throw in some simple designs. You know me, I'm all fancy wow cards. So let's now, here's a gold, and we do have, here we go. This is like the best way to instantly dress up. Do I have any gold? Enough gold in my, here's my little stash of filming bling. I do have 3 gold sequins. Oops, oops, oops. Made my triangle. All right. Okay, so the last bit, which should be pretty fast, to show you, and this isn't going to be trimmed down to the correct size, but that is another, and I think this makes a great masculine card. Okay, that is the full size. Corn scene. I want to switch gears. So you'll find that I have very distinct, unique designs with all of the different scenes and the like. We've got mixes of white with very vanilla, with like a lot of really close colors that are still, I guess I would call them legal to be able to mix and match. So let's just see what we can do with this. By the way, this is not the original plan. I see my original sentiment is still up above, but we're just rolling with it. So this is Cajun Craze. This particular piece of paper came from the DSP, the Autumn Toile, and you will notice that the Timid Tiger pumpkins don't quite match, but if you wanted these pumpkins to coordinate with the pumpkins on the Toile paper, all you would have to do is take a Cajun Craze blend and alter the color a little bit, if you really wanted to. So we're just going to start with some paper layering. Again, masculine. That is what I am seeing here. Which makes this kit very appealing to me. Doing my little triangle. Now I want to get this switched over this is actually the sentiment that I had in mind, and I also had in mind you could choose to have the leaves being up, or if you want them to show more, I would actually face them down. In addition, here, we'll keep it simple first. So lots of busyness, lots of color. This is the smoky slate. I'm going to try I think that works. You know, I have these kind of pre mocked up, and then I always go off book. That could be popped up. I already took some the dimensionals. We got mini dimensionals, so this is from another paper pumpkin, and I split them so that the hexagons are half size. And I already liked it popped up much better. There we go. That's starting to look complete to me. Not done yet with this one. I want to you could add more. I did some splatter on that, and it's mostly obscured, so you could splatter all the way to the edge of the leaves. And again, you could use these pumpkins. I mean, I'm not really sure you have to darken them, but you could. So I like that with multiple pieces. Before I finish with Leaf Fall, this nice dark brown backdrop, there is the, of course, strip on the side. We have a strip of the metallic to set this off beautifully. This is, of course, I've got slated to be one of my go-to designs. There's a variety of things you can do. We have a small circle that's kind of a neutral color. Oh, and I should pop it up while I'm at it. What I'm doing is creating a little, and that's kind of small, that circle. Let's see what we can do. But if we want to keep all of these small elements small, this is some retired 1/8. It was a combo. It might even still be available. I colored it brown. Not having such success on that. All right. Not so sure. Nope. This is a very vanilla. So the color difference, you could use some brown and edge. And the Autumn Wishes with the very vanilla, sponge it with some brown edging. If I wanted to even dress it up more, yeah, kind of like that. And then I do have a second leaf. All right, I think that is it for this one. All right, I am trying to do a fun little scene. This Thanksgiving right here, this Happy Thanksgiving, came from Painted Pheasant, which is a long retired in my stash Thanksgiving set. These pumpkins, again, you could darken them. I was going to have some of these pumpkins not popped up. So all I did was from the autumn toile paper, cut scenes out. And here are, I believe these are current, these are a pearl dot that I added some orange alcohol marker of some variety. I have a whole bunch of seams that I just fussy cut very quickly out. And let's convert it to a Cajun Craze focus. And there we go. I still like go. Now I just want to share one really fantastic. This particular image is from the Amber Autumn set, and I wish I had this. I do have it on Very Vanilla right here. So we'll dress this up. I like that a lot. All right. Move. I actually think you could. Oh, he's a goner. I will find a replacement. So this one I really like. Somebody is gonna appreciate this. All right, let's do a different sentiment though. Let's try something. I still like it somewhat across the middle, but you could say no, I want it down here. I do actually like there's a couple of really nice smaller sentiments. I almost think that since these are the cream, that we would swap the base out. And it gives it a completely different look. I was surprised when I was doing the mock-ups of these how different a scene looks when you change it from like a cold color to this warm color. The very vanilla. This gives it a more formal, elegant look, I would say. And then I have not used, there's this white bow. Kind of chunky for this application, but we'll still get a shot of it. But what I really thought would be cute you could put it over here if you wanted. For something different. Trying to find our triangle. I like that. I do have a little fox that just, you could plop it on there. I was trying to find a way to use that little fox, and that is what came to mind. Swapping out this Thankful. This is the stamp that comes with this kit. This is last year's paper pumpkin. This is this year's, that's last year's. You could even remove the fox and put a few pumpkins popped up down here. Oh, and then I would consider even adding a okay, and if you wanted to go fancy, let's just see what this gold looks like. This might be heavy, but we're going to try it. Oh, yeah, that works. Fantastic. What have we got? Any other bows? The only other bow we have not put on here, I'm not sure if we go with something bigger. We put it on this side. That'll work. Yeah. All right. One last scene we will see if we've covered all the base. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. We want to do another horizontal with the Autumn Toile DSP. This is the pheasant scene. And make another lovely masculine card. These, it's weird. I'm sure Toile isn't masculine, but it just comes across to me as masculine. I'm going to use this to pop up the circle. We're going to do I have a white? I don't have a white. Yeah, this very vanilla I'm not loving. So I think we're going to go for a thankful. And we're going to you could cut little scenes out of this. I didn't cut any scenes out of the green. So we're building this. Keeping this one pretty simple, but I do have a game plan. If you cut this strip into two pieces, you can have a little bit of it on both sides. I'm just going to have a little bit of it for extra dimension on the right. Now I have a plan. Even wonder if we get rid of the white, can we get this going? Oh, I'm liking that better. And then I think what I'm really going to like is if I build up, I have these leaves, I haven't used them in a couple of scenes. Too many layers. All right, so I'm going to see if that is 25 designs. Oh, I have one more. Oh, I always think I'm done, you guys. I cut out this scene right here. And I thought this would make a really pretty... I do not have the dice, the set this came from. It is retired. I spent an inordinate amount of time going through my stuff, coming up with various options. Need our I actually believe that I want a bigger sentiment. I don't want to cover our tree. Oh, that's kind of interesting, lined up on the left like that. Getting our perfect triangle. So I want to take that same idea. Let's move this down. Keep the thankful up there. How about over here? I have a need for a piece of trim. We have some cute, this is a retired. I really loved it when I saw it. Trying to get all these match. Of course, the last one I struggle with. That is better. I have some little bits, like little tiny remnant pieces. And so I'm taking this little strip, and I am going to just tuck that in with a little bit, just for fun. And instead I could tuck a little bit of the brown suede. And I could swap out for, I thought I had the brown in a knot. I gotta move down here. I'm creeping up. All right, so the last thing that I want to do is just show this scene over here. Maybe even without that extra layer. All right, awesome kit. I love all of these autumn kits. Every last one of them. I probably missed some things if I am short any of the 25 layouts that I tried. Well, 20. I probably, for this kit, I will try to do at least 20 screenshots at the end so that you can just filter through them as you want to. Let me know your thoughts on this kit. Do all of the YouTube things, like, share, comment, consider subscribing, and I will be back here next month for, I'm sure is going to be the Christmas kit, in fact, so we will see how that goes. Everybody take care, and I will see you then.